You know that feeling, that one where you are absolutely determined, like this is the time you'll finally get serious about learning English.
Oh, absolutely.
You picture yourself chatting away confidently, and then, well, life happens. Does that sound familiar?
It really does. It's such a common ambition, wanting to improve your English. But, turning that ambition into consistent action, that's where things often get tricky.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're digging into in this deep dive. Not just, what discipline is, but how you can actually build it up to become that consistent English learner.
Right. Because think about it, you could have the best apps, the most amazing tutors, maybe you even live somewhere English is spoken all around you. But if that consistent effort isn't there, it's like having this super fancy GPS, but never actually typing in where you want to go.
Exactly. You're just not going to get there.
You won't reach the goal.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
So let's dive into the heart of it. What really fuels that steady effort?
Yeah. What is it?
Well, one of our sources puts it quite simply. Discipline is basically doing what you know needs to be done, whether you feel like it at that moment or not.
Okay.
It's that internal engine, really, that keeps you moving, even when, motivation takes a nosedive.
Which, let's be real, happens all the time. Motivation can feel like that friend who's super enthusiastic at first, makes big plans, and then totally ghosts you when it's actually time to do the work. Discipline seems more like that reliable, quiet colleague who just gets the job done.
That's a good way to put it.
We've all done it, haven't we? Said, okay, tomorrow I start English practice, seriously.
The famous tomorrow.
And then tomorrow rolls around and suddenly finding the TV remote seems incredibly important. What's the secret then to actually bridge that gap? That gap between wanting to do it and doing it consistently.
That really is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially with language learning, because fluency isn't usually about huge breakthroughs.
No, it's gradual.
It's slow and steady. One source we looked at had this great comparison. It's like tending to a plant.
Oh, you like that?
You don't see massive growth overnight.
Right.
It needs that consistent watering, consistent care, day in, day out, even when you can't really see the progress immediately.
That makes sense. It really highlights how those small repeated actions build up. Like one of the materials mentioned learning just say 5 new words a day.
Right. Seems tiny.
It feels like almost nothing in the moment, but you stick with that over a month and that's 150 words. That actually starts to make a real difference.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Those small, consistent deposits, they compound.
Yeah.
And it's not just vocab. Think about maybe dedicating just 10 minutes a day, maybe listening to a quick podcast clip or just scribbling down a couple of sentences in English in a notebook. Individually, these feel like tiny little things. But when discipline helps you weave them into your daily fabric, they become really powerful habits that genuinely pave the way for fluency.
Okay, so we're sold. Discipline is key. But how do we get it? It's not like flipping a switch, right? You can't just decide, okay, now I'm disciplined.
Nah, if only.
What are the practical things we can actually do to build that, discipline muscle, especially when learning English can sometimes feel, frankly, a bit like a chore?
That's where having a strategy really helps. One effective technique that came up was setting a fixed time.
Okay, like scheduling it.
Exactly. Designating a specific slot in your day. Maybe it's first thing in the morning, maybe lunch break, maybe evening, and treating it like an important, non-negotiable appointment. It just creates this mental structure, becomes predictable, part of the rhythm of your day, less decision fatigue involved.
That makes a lot of sense. Like booking a meeting with your future fluent self, you can't just blow it off.
Precisely.
And another point that I found really interesting was the idea of starting really small, like almost ridiculously small.
Yes. It's counterintuitive, isn't it?
It is. Because you want to go all in, study for hours. But the suggestion was, no, start with maybe just 5 minutes. Focus on just showing up consistently. Apparently, those tiny wins build momentum.
They really do. This connects perfectly to something called the 2-minute rule in one source. The idea is to make the very first step so incredibly easy, it feels almost silly not to do it.
Like what?
Like your goal isn't study English for an hour, it's open my English learning app. Or read one sentence aloud.
Ah, okay. Just get the ball rolling.
Exactly. Get those quick wins. They build confidence. They make the habit stickier over time.
And I thought the bit about self-monitoring was quite powerful too. Just putting a check mark on a calendar each day you do your practice.
Oh, yeah. The visual feedback.
Or using a habit tracker app. Seeing that unbroken chain, it makes you really hesitant to be the one to break it, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It's fascinating how these little things add up to a bigger sense of, hey, I'm actually doing this. I'm committed.
Yeah.
And another related idea was the concept of no 0 days.
No, 0 days. What's that?
Basically, even on the days where you feel zero motivation, absolutely drained, the commitment is to do something.
Wow.
Anything, even if it's incredibly tiny.
Yeah.
Maybe just send one text message in English. Or look around the room and mentally label 3 objects in English, just something to keep the connection alive.
Ah, so you don't completely fall off the wagon, you maintain that thread.
Exactly. It prevents a total lapse, keeps the habit simmering.
Okay, that's practical. What about our surroundings? Does that play a role?
Huge role. One source really emphasized shaping your environment to make English kind of unavoidable, but in a good way.
How so?
Things like maybe changing your phone's language setting to English.
Oh, brave.
Yeah, or simpler things. Putting sticky notes with new vocabulary on your fridge or your mirror. Actively choosing to follow some English-speaking accounts on social media.
Right, so it just pops up naturally throughout the day.
Precisely. These little environmental cues keep English sort of gently nudging you, keeping it top of mind without feeling like this big separate task.
That's a clever way to integrate it. Now let's talk about motivation again, or the lack of it. Because inevitably, there are going to be days you just don't feel like it.
Oh, absolutely guaranteed. One source was very blunt about this. It said, look, there will be boredom. There will be frustration. There will be times you question why you even started.
Yeah, it's not always fun in games, is it? Learning grammar or memorizing irregular verbs.
Not always thrilling, no. And that right there, that's exactly where discipline needs to step up and take over from motivation. It's about showing up anyway, even in those dull days, even if it's just for those 5 or 10 minutes you committed to.
Because every time you do that,
You're reinforcing the discipline muscle. You're literally reprogramming yourself from someone who just wants to learn English into someone who is actively, consistently doing it.
that's a powerful shift in identity almost.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we need to rethink how we view motivation itself. As one source pointed out so well, motivation is, well, it's an emotion. It comes and goes.
It's
Very fickle. Relying only on motivation is basically setting yourself up for inconsistency. The real goal should be building habits that become almost automatic.
like brushing your teeth.
Exactly like brushing your teeth. You don't usually need a big motivational speech for that, do you?
No, not usually.
It's just ingrained. It's part of the routine. And that's the level we want to get English learning to. Automatic. Routine.
I think that's such a critical takeaway for everyone listening. Stop waiting to feel inspired.
Yes.
Start building the systems, the habits that carry you forward even when you don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Those reliable structures matter more than the fleeting feeling.
Precisely. And to make it even more concrete, one source even laid out a kind of 7-day discipline kickstart.
Like a mini plan.
Yeah, starting super small, like maybe just 2 minutes a day, linking that tiny action to something you already do every day, like after your morning coffee.
Habit stacking.
Exactly. Then gradually adding things like tracking it, maybe reducing one specific distraction during that time. It's all about those small, doable steps, building real, sustainable momentum.
Okay. So wrapping this up, if there's one core message to take away from this whole deep dive, it really seems to be this. Discipline beats motivation, hands down, in the long run.
Without a doubt. Discipline is that steady, reliable engine. Motivation is more like occasional turbo boost, maybe. Nice when it happens, but you can't rely on it for the whole journey.
Right. Discipline gets you there when the boost runs out.
And it's so important to remember. Discipline isn't something you're born with or without. It's not a fixed trait.
It's a skill.
It's absolutely a skill.
Yeah.
And like any skill, or like that muscle we talked about, the more you practice it, the stronger it gets.
So we really want to encourage you listening right now. Think about one small thing. Just one tiny actionable habit related to English that you could commit to starting.
Maybe it really is listening to one song in English each day, or learning one new phrase before bed.
Whatever it is, make it small, make it doable. And maybe even, write it down somewhere. Tell a friend. That little bit of accountability can make a surprising difference.
It really can. And remember, this whole English learning thing, it is a journey. It's a process. It happens step by steady, disciplined step.
Yeah, be kind to yourself through it. Notice those small wins, celebrate them even. But the main thing is
Keep showing up consistently.
keep showing up. And as you keep going, keep learning, keep growing, just hold this thought. Every single expert, every person you admire who speaks English fluently, they were once exactly where you are now, a beginner. What made the difference wasn't just luck or talent. It was that they kept going through discipline,